you want an amazing body transformation, but showing up is too much work. And showing up being taking your photos, taking your measurements, checking in, filling out a form, reporting how your week went, no matter what that looked like. That in itself is part of the work. Literally just showing up for yourself. And this transformation is all about showing up no matter how you feel, whether you were perfect, whether you were not perfect, and just being vulnerable and continuing to put your best foot forward to make the transformation. And this person in particular is asked to remain anonymous, but the theme with this is there were so many weeks where she didn't feel like she was doing a good job. I don't feel like my body's changing enough. I don't feel like my body's changing enough. There were times where she thought about quitting. She was like, I don't even know if I'm doing it. I'm going to read you a couple lines from some of her check-ins just so you can see exactly how she was feeling sometimes. I didn't want to check in today. I didn't want to come here and say that I didn't lock in, but here we are. And again, I think a lot of people will get stuck on, I didn't lock in, I wasn't perfect, I ate something off menu, I missed a workout, I missed a cardio session, and they'll take that and then they maybe will be embarrassed to check in, or they won't want to show up, or they'll feel like they failed and it's not even worth it. And the reality is, even if you weren't perfect, showing up is half the battle, because you may be surprised at what happens or what the response is when you show up and share what you did. And, as a coach, we're not there to come down on people. We're there to help them, work with them, find something that's going to work into their life that's going to set them up for success in winning the week. And it's not always more cardio, less calories, more training. Sometimes it's pulling back and accommodating that person for what they need and what their life requires at that point in time. And again, I wanted to provide support and make sure she knew that as long as she was putting her best foot forward, she was going to get the results. And that's exactly what we're seeing here today. So she's dropped several pounds, several inches off her waist, several inches off her glutes, and we're going to take a look at exactly what those numbers look like. But I mean, look at her low back, look at her core. Obviously, her posing is looking better as well. But look at this lines in her leg. Look at the separation between her glute and her hamstring and the muscles that we're starting to see show up. Her arms are leaner, her waist is leaner, her chest is leaner. Everything is coming down and we are just tighter and more muscular. And sometimes week to week she thought she should be dropping more weight or her measurement should be moving more, but it should be noted that throughout this whole process of dropping body fat, we're also gaining muscle. And everybody knows muscle weighs more than fat, but on a week-to-week basis, as your body is making this transformation, we are literally transforming your body from being more body fat to more muscle. And that is a process that takes time and work, and you have to allow your body to change. Your skin is your largest and heaviest organ that also has to adapt to these changes in the way that we're morphing and shaping your body. So you guys need to remember to be patient, be nice to yourself, and everybody's transformation happens in its own time. There's almost exactly 1 year between these photos. And some people, you might see transformations that are more dramatic in less than a year. It might take you 3 years. But what matters is you keep showing up for yourself. And again, it kind of happens for everybody in their own time. Your mind develops along with your body. And this is why it's important for your journey to be yours alone and not compared to anybody else. Because as long as you're moving forward and making improvements, it doesn't matter what pace you're going at. You can go at your own pace. You just need to continue showing up for yourself week after week after week and be ready to receive the feedback, receive the changes, put your best foot forward. And that's really all it takes to make a body transformation like this. Looking at her comparison photos from the back. So we dropped, from 163 to 149, that's about 14-pound drop. We're seeing a little over 5-inch drop in the waist. So 14-pound difference, but over 5 inches have come off of her waist. And you can definitely see it coming through in her under bikini area, in her low back. We're seeing more tightness and definition out of her arms and her upper back. Legs are tighter, glutes are tighter. You can see the way that she checks in very consistent clothing. And again, it's fitting different. Her shape is different. Her posture is different in her back pose. So everything has just come together so nicely. And amongst all the craziness, right, of I didn't want to check in today, but I'm here. I feel like I could be making more progress. I wasn't perfect on my plans this week. There were also check-ins where she'd say, hey, I'm starting to feel some changes. I feel a little weak and tired in the gym, but I keep pushing through. And there's a resilience there. And I really wanted to share, those are actual things she said to me in her actual check-ins. And I really want that to land with you guys because, again, sometimes you're going to feel weak and tired, but you keep pushing through. You put your best foot forward. Changing your body is uncomfortable. We're literally, your body is burning fat for energy, and then we're adding muscle, and we have to literally create micro tears in your muscle so it can build back bigger and stronger and better. And this is not a comfortable process when you're losing body fat, when you're making a dramatic change. Like, it's part of facing that experience and taking on that challenge willingly, and kind of like, even for some people who feel like they're stumbling through it, or again, like they're not perfect. You do not have to be perfect. You just need to consistently show up for yourself. You just need to put your best effort forward. You can never throw the towel in. You can never admit defeat. You can never be like, oh, this week got away from me. I guess it's over. That's not what we do. You show up. This wasn't my best week. Here's what I'm going to do. My mindset's different. I'm ready to change my actions here, here, and here. These are areas that we can improve. I want to really focus on this week. And again, by having a specific plan, a measurable plan, these are the things we're going to change going into next week. And you keep showing up week after week after week. This is how we get these transformations. So again, out of respect for her privacy and all these things, I'm keeping this person anonymous due to her request, but she's absolutely killing it. You can see it in her physique. Her mindset has grown so much in addition to this body transformation. And again, I wanted to really share with you guys some real things that she shared with her check-ins, because, people see a transformation like this and you think it's all ponies and rainbows and wow, she must be so happy and it's so easy for her and her body just responded and whatever. I'm telling you guys, it ain't that simple. There's always a little bit more work. There's always a little bit more grit. There's always obstacles that have to be overcome. Life is always going to get in the way. In the year that this transformation took place, there was birthdays, holidays, heartbreak, life things that she had to overcome, emotional trauma. All of those things are happening. And yet, she's better now than she was then because she continued to show up and put her best foot forward and give her 100%. So that is the message today. Keep showing up for yourself. Give your 100%, and you might be surprised and honestly mind blown at what you're able to accomplish by putting your best foot forward and just continuing to show up for yourself. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.